want to talk with you about pandemic and the Dem-panic. I also want to talk to you about the CDC. The CDC is the Center for Disease Control. The pandemic is COVID-19, and the Dem-panic is the reaction to what I call the other virus. I've never denied the one virus, COVID-19, but there is another virus which is worse than the first virus, by far. But the CDC, which is not conspiracy theory, the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, which is science, has come up with a conclusion that I'm surprised isn't talked about that much. Came out just a little while ago, maybe a week or so ago from this shooting here. And it says that 94% of all COVID deaths are comorbidities. That means they died of something and COVID. And 6% were pure COVID. So if you got, say, 200,000 deaths, and it's American numbers in the United States, 200,000 COVID deaths, 188,000 would be comorbidities, and 12,000 would be COVID deaths that were just purely COVID deaths. So here's how that works. And this is a sensitive subject. It's very sensitive. My wife was diagnosed with multiple myeloma 4 years ago, cancer. It's very, very real. Let me tell you something. There's a thing called cancer survivors. I'm a cancer survivor, and it's a wonderful thing. And you have another day, another year, and you beat it and you beat it. One of the things Wendy and I would talk about was we could stay alive until there's a cure, a medical cure. God curing through science. And so, but if you're not alive, you can't do it. So if somebody has diabetes, which is a big killer within COVID attacks diabetes, it's one disease, and that person dies because they got COVID and they lost out of a year of life, 2 years, 5 weeks, I don't know. But that's tragic, and I don't minimize that. In a bad year, the flu kills 70 to 80,000 people. But that's what happens when you have another disease. But here's another case. My mother had COPD, which is that breathing disease. And she was with hospice. Now, a lot of people with COVID are in hospice, but they're with hospice because they have cancer or COPD, so et cetera and so on. And then COVID comes along later on, but they're with hospice. Now, I'm using this as an example. My mother actually died, literally, of morphine. They gave her so much morphine the last weeks of her life that she died of morphine. She would have lived another 3 weeks. But the way they calculate COVID deaths is they'll count that as a COVID death. Another example, my wife came home from a very successful cancer procedure called CAR T-cell therapy. They got all the cancer. She's what they call MRD negative. And 17 months later, there's still no cancer. It's fantastic and wonderful. However, it killed her bone marrow, killed her bone marrow. And she came home 2 months after New York, and in 2 weeks, she got a severe case of pneumonia. If she had died, and thank God she didn't, if she had died, she would have died of cancer. And a response to the cancer would have been pneumonia, but that wouldn't be the case today. That was 2019. In 2020, if she got COVID, there would be a COVID death. So everything's a COVID death. I heard about somebody that was in a motorcycle accident and he died, but he had COVID. They tested for COVID, so they counted it as a COVID death, not as a motorcycle death. The numbers are crazy because I don't know if we'll ever know exactly what the numbers are, but we do know this. If they say 200,000 deaths in America to COVID, that's not true. You see, figures don't lie, but liars figure. And I say that with pain because I'm not trying to say you're a liar, but if you believe a lie and you start sharing that, you spread a lie. It's the Dem-panic. And it comes from the media, the Marxist media, it comes from the party, and it's not healthy. And I'm saying this to all people, there's good news. This is good news for everybody. And if we didn't live in such partisan times, we would all agree with about what I'm about to say. But let's agree anyway, because these are facts. The pandemic was never as bad as we feared it would be. Never. It wasn't the killer. Less than 0.5% chance you have of dying if you get it, and that's if you get it. The other thing is, things are getting better. People are going back to work, back to school. It's good. It is. Let's be happy that we're getting back to work, we're back to school. Let's beat this fear by understanding that we are getting better and God is with us. Be with God because He's the Spirit of truth and He will take the lie out of everybody. All men are liars, the Bible says. Yes. And some people are winning at the losing game with lies. And some people are losing at the losing game, but let's all quit. Let's quit. Let's quit. Surrender. Quit the one game and say, yes, things are getting better. Things are getting better all the time. Better, better, better. They are. I'm Dennis Cole. This is Narrowgate News. Thank you very much. Please subscribe. Please like and please share. God bless you and thank you very much.